buy houses thousands of dollars on it.
All that together.
I had researched in.
Hey,
Oh my
look
God,
at
there's
that!
Woo!
Wow!
Happy 4th of July.
Love American style. That's about a 55-year-old reference.
I was just going to say, not many people in this
Not
room will
lost
get
on
it.
me.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Look who's here. It's Jen Press Martin, and she is our sit-in gorgeous co-host this week.
Gorgeous is right. Gorgeous is right, Jen. Thanks for
I
being
am
here.
so happy to be here with fireworks behind
She-
me.
And red, white, and blue. Does everyone know? Did you
you
guys all
notice?
notice that?
Oh, yeah, right. Look at that. What a memo.
We're representing.
Look, when they go off just right, it looks like I'm...
Or I
Tina
look like, or I
Turner.
look like a Tom Brown shirt now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Good reference.
Welcome to Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now. It is 4th of July weekend, as we are saying, and the fireworks behind us are because there are fireworks everywhere across Long Island this weekend.
Everywhere.
There have been a few already last night, but now, Saturday night, we have a couple of spots already in West
I have the
and
list.
Montauk.
I have the list.
So Saturday night, we have what?
Saturday night. Well, Saturday night we have West Hampton and Montauk.
Okay.
Montauk.
No,
Yeah.
that was last night. That was yesterday. Now Saturday is everything below there.
Okay,
So
you know.
firework- No, here we go.
No. You take that. You take that.
Whatever.
Can you believe this is a show?
No.
I have a question.
Yes.
This may be really dumb.
The floor recognizes Jen.
Thank you. Question.
Uh-huh.
Is it legal to buy fireworks in
In New York State? I don't know.
It's
I
not.
don't think so. No, we're getting
We're getting no.
the staff is saying no.
It's
So-
not like when
We
you were
have one
driving.
person.
Well, you probably flew. My family, we drove back from Florida and we would stop at
Oh,
North
no
Carolina.
problem.
South of the
Pedro,
border.
Pedro, the big
Pedro.
Pedro thing. Remember that?
But I feel like all over the
Fiesta
country,
all night, siesta all day. Is that it, or
in
was it-
places where it's legal, though, they're sold all over the place. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
everywhere.
think the answer to your
Delaware,
question
I think
is
they're legal.
different
Yeah,
states have
think so.
different little
Yeah.
amounts of gunpowder in each one, but those are I think you can have sparklers in New York, probably not indoors, so
Right,
kids.
probably not.
But there are it's a great question because a lot of people buy privately
That's
fireworks
why I'm
or
asking.
hire the Grucci or whoever the family is to come to their houses and shoot
Yeah.
them off.
In
And
Texas, you can buy
sometimes-
it anywhere. You can buy like
Yeah,
a
well,
2 tons
you can
of
buy-
dynamite.
You can drive around with a gun and a drink. Did you know you can have an open alcoholic drink in Texas
You
driving
can do
around?
anything you
Somehow,
want in
I
Texas.
am not.
All you have to do is be able to blow, whatever the legal amount is, but you can have a driving drink, Bill.
A roadie?
A roadie.
We have
Have a little
roadie.
roadie. You don't even know what's in here, but you probably think
Fireworks
it's
this
water.
weekend, Saturday night in Sag Harbor at the Yacht Club. You can see that from Marine Park. They start at dusk, or dark, but they're saying around 9:30. The Devon Yacht Club, also a lovely little spot over on Nepog, or is that 3 Mile Harbor? Where's our?
Appaquah? No, it's up. It's
Yeah.
up Nat Peak.
Yeah, okay, well, anyway, that's
Peak.
Devon Yacht Club doing that. That's at 9:15. And the North Sea Fire Department is doing fireworks Saturday night, but all weekend long they're having their carnival. So they have rides, they have games. They're probably rigged, but go, it's fun. The family, it's something for everybody.
Oh, wait, one thing that has
Sure.
to be said. If you have pets, particularly dogs, put
Trazodone
them-
weekend for
it's
my
a
dog.
trazodone weekend for many of our pets, and
Really?
just be
Yeah,
mindful.
keep them locked up. Yeah,
Yeah.
The fireworks drive my
It's
my
freaky
big
deaky
girl.
for
You
them.
know,
Nuts.
there really are doggy downers because Mrs. McCuddy got Grace, who doesn't like thunder and lightning. And boy, aren't you glad you tuned in now for this little tidbit. We have a dog that has to take, if we know there's going to be thunder and lightning.
Did you try a Thunder shirt?
Yeah,
No, what's
that's
a
a thing.
They work. Oh, you can buy them on Amazon. It's like a tight-fitting shirt that and you put it on every time
It's like a weighted blanket that makes
Yeah.
them feel safe,
Yeah, I don't
kind of
feel,
thing.
It does
I don't
work.
like anything tight.
I think your wife was thinking
Oh,
of
and
getting
the
one for
dog.
you.
Yeah,
Actually,
yes,
maybe.
I need one.
Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because
No,
it
those are called the ones that Mrs. McCuddy gets them are called Spanx.
Oh,
that was good. That was good.
Very
Okay,
nice.
leave him hanging. Don't do that. Jesus. Hey, listen, speaking of guest hosts, we had Bill Boggs in last week while I
What
was up
a
for
fun
my
time. What a
high
fun
school
time.
reunion. Thanks
Royalty.
to Bill. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's royalty.
He really is.
Come on, I grew up in New York City. I grew up with him, you know?
Yeah.
We have acting royalty on this show, a raconteur by the name of Elliot Cooper, who has Cooper's Classic Cars in New York, and he's going to come on and tell us the perfect cars for the East End of Long Island. This
Oh.
summer,
Ooh.
what's your beach buggy? What are you driving? He's going to tell you what you should have. So that's kind of royalty. Greenpoint Fire Department also doing it Saturday night. Shelter Island doing it not until July 9th. And the Clamshell Foundation is doing it this year on July 13th for 3 Mile Harbor. I think that's in conjunction with,
Boys Town. It used to be Boys Town, I thought. The Boys Town fireworks, they used to call it.
no, I thought it was around Bastille Day. Isn't that what they do it on 3 Mile Harbor for?
Trey Fromage, I don't know.
We don't rehearse, and we prove it every week.
Trey Fromage.
I'm just
I don't
trying to
think
keep up.
anything like the fireworks we're having behind us are going to happen anywhere
I think
near
this
us.
is awesome. I love this.
Unless it's at somebody's house.
I have them wherever I
And
go.
of course,
Like good lighting.
East Hampton waits for the piping
The
clover.
piping
Right.
clover.
Clovers.
That
They
tastes
don't
like
do it-
chicken. Did you
They
know
don't
that?
do it until fall.
Oh, God.
We don't want them
Oh,
tasting
no.
like chicken.
No.
Again, if you're joining us now and you're seeing this show, it is
You're
live,
bored.
live to tape. No. This is Jen, that's Patrick, I'm Bill, and we always say if you're watching the show now, anything we're talking about
Happens.
is happening this weekend. With one exception, and here's why I'm going to bring this up. I think if we wait until next week to show you, throw Mr. Kevin Hart up on the screen behind us. He's going to be at Montauk for a benefit that an Acting My Age
Duck down.
tour, and that's in Montauk
There you go.
on the 12th.
Right.
And it may be sold out if we wait too long to tell you about it. So Saturday, July 12th, a great benefit. It turns out it costs almost $2 million a year to run the lighthouse at Montauk, and the Army Corps of Engineers gets a little bit of money, but not that much. So, yes, there are many charities that happen out here, but not many have Kevin Hart coming. Next month, also, Nora Jones joins them. And again,
I'm going.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I got
Oh.
2 extra tickets.
Oh,
Maybe,
cool.
Yeah.
I may be opening.
You may
I
be-
do-
you
I
might
may
be
do,
opening.
I may do
Oh,
a
that's
little
cool.
5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, we're
Anyway,
going.
they set up 2,000, this is all Murmur Productions, our buddies who also do everything at Canoe Place. They set up a 2,000, they have a tent and 2,000 seats. And I think if we wait till next weekend to tell you about it, Kevin Hart's going to be sold out. So go to Murmur or just go to the Montauk Lighthouse.
And if you miss this, you can just catch him on those next credit card commercials.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
What is
boy.
he not doing?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about a talent that came from, not nowhere, but I mean, he had a rise in comedy clubs and stuff. But that's a guy who just started doing Madison Square Garden overnight for my money and doing specials that go straight to Netflix like routinely. So, and now he's got Fabletics. He's
Oh.
got Quicksilver. He's got, I guess, is it Capital One he does?
Capital One, yeah.
Yeah.
What's in your wallet?
Yeah. Not
Maybe
what-
they'll
not as
sponsor
much
this
money as
show.
in Kevin Hart's wallet, I'll tell you that.
Capital One. What's in your wallet?
What else is going on this weekend?
There's lots going on.
We buried the lead. It's
What?
Jurassic Park weekend.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh.
Scarlett Johansson joins us a little later on, and also David Koepp.
Oh, cool.
David,
The-
who
this
wrote
who
the
lives in the
original,
Hamptons.
The original
the
screenplay.
original
Is back.
Jurassic Park
Yes.
is back on this one. I've seen the movie. It's really good, and I'm not just saying that because we're promoting it. This is the big 900-pound T-Rex in
Yeah.
the room. It's the thing happening this weekend, and I think it's going to be the biggest movie of the summer. Bigger
Really?
than F1, bigger than Minecraft.
Superman?
Well, wait. Maybe not as big as
Superman?
Lilo and Stitch,
Or Superman?
which made
Let's
$1
talk
billion.
about Superman again?
Yeah, Superman. I'm supposed to see that on Tuesday.
Let me know. Are you seeing it out here?
No, I'm going to the city
bummer. I was
because
gonna
they want to
ask.
show it to us on IMAX. But speaking of IMAX, you'll be able to see that in Southampton because the Southampton Playhouse has it. We'll show you movie times in just a minute.
Do you know, I saw Jimmy Walker was talking about the Jurassic Park movie online.
J.J. Walker?
Yeah,
is
J.J.
that
Walker.
that
He said
guy?
it's dynamite.
Did he really?
He
No,
would
that was a
say
bad
that.
joke. That was like a
He
dad
would say
joke.
that.
Oh yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah, I get it. Oh,
Okay.
like Dino, Dino.
Yeah,
Think,
Wow.
think about the whole.
We
a
don't
whole-
rehearse.
There's a whole generation of people who haven't seen Jurassic Park. So I feel like with ScarJo,
Right.
this is going to bring out a whole new slew of people.
Okay, so let me try and sell it to you too, because I know you think you've seen this movie before.
I'm like, where
where
could they go? Where could
back
they-
to-
where could they
back
go?
to the
Where
park?
could
So
they go?
all
Where
the
could they
movies
go?
before have been about a park that goes amok when the
Right.
public is there.
Right.
This is about an R&D center that was making the animals that went to those parks, and why it shut down 17 years ago, and why the DNA from those animals could help prolong life for the rest of the planet. There's no park anymore. There's just this place.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson goes with, instead of like a bunch of people, there's just a few people that go. And Marisha Ali from Green Book is
Oh, okay.
phenomenal in it. kind of slumming it. So is ScarJo, but
They
she
got a hefty
says-
paycheck, I'm sure.
Oh,
She's going to talk a
please.
little later on in the show about how desperately she always wanted to be in one of these movies, and she got her wish. And David Koepp kind of explains the whole DNA thing. He's written Panic Room. He's written tons of movies.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm talking about he and ScarJo or Scarlett
She tells you to
Johansson,
call her Scar?
No, she's never said that. Please call me ScarJo. They're both living in Amagansett, so they're Hamptonites. Speaking of which, out in the Hamptons this weekend, besides everything else going on, it is the gala premiere of the Songbook here at LTV. And guess who's joining us? A friend of Bill Boggs, Marilyn May.
Oh, cool.
Marilyn May is not a young woman, and
No.
she still works to this day, and she will be here Saturday night, along
cool.
with, what else is going on?
great.
Is
Taste.
Tova Feldshuh in that too, or something?
She
No, I'm
has-
serious. Tova Feldshuh. I thought she was in it as well, or something.
Yeah,
I mean, she
she's
might
not
be.
coming out this year. She's come out in years past, but we have Liz Calloway, who's a big name.
Oh, I actually.
Yeah, and Mark Nadler and Natalie Douglas, all summer long, from July 5th, this Saturday night, to August 30th. And Marilyn May is the
Liz
first
Calloway
Oh, cool.
actually performed. I went to a friend's birthday party in the city at the Cafe Carlisle, and they had Liz and her sister
Right.
both play at this birthday party.
Also,
And then I
this-
saw ScarJo in the lobby, or
Oh,
in the
you
lobby in
did?
the bar with her husband, and she's very petite,
Yes,
very
she
tiny.
is.
Yeah,
Very
Yes,
tiny.
she is.
She
And
is.
he's adorable, her husband.
Yeah,
Love
he's
him.
Colin Jost. And they have a place out here, and
Do we want to
she's-
give away the address?
she's
I know
such a-
exactly where it
No,
is.
no, we don't wanna
That's
do that.
probably not a
It'll
great
all come out
idea.
at the trial. Let's save it for the real estate roundtable. But no, they're. What was I trying to say? They're an active. They do a lot of stuff out here. They're big
Yeah.
supporters of
Right.
some things that go on and support local charities. One of the other things happening this weekend is the Dan Taste series, Red, White, and Brews. It's called.
Clever.
6 p.m. to 10:30, presented by Wilmington Trust. It's red wine, white wine, and the best in local craft beers and spirits. Fresh Direct this year is doing something new. They're doing a chef competition.
Ooh.
And when you go to this event Saturday night, you can actually vote. It's all part of the Dan's Taste of Summer. This is the first one. I think that's pretty much everything
Fun.
going on this
So,
weekend.
what's the weather like this
Busy.
weekend?
Good.
Oh my God! Well, there's a lot more. Oh, thanks for flipping that over.
It's so
You have a
helpful.
fancy printer at your house.
Well, if you just joined us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now, and this weekend there's more on tap. It's because of the 4th of July weekend. That's why we've got the fireworks going behind us. What else is happening?
There's a Bridgehampton Art Affair Friday and Saturday and Sunday at the museum grounds.
Right.
And also, we talked about
the carnival.
About the carnival, 68th annual.
It's
So,
polo.
from 7 to 11 each night. Oh, it's
Do you,
what?
and, do you and your husband go to the polo?
You know where I ride has polo all
Oh, right.
the time,
Right,
so
right,
it's
right.
kind of like not so much because it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you ride with Mrs. McCuddy then?
I
does.
do indeed. I
Oh,
do. We
there-
have that equestrian
And it's
connection.
and hosted by Christy Brinkley.
Mm-hmm.
She's always dressed to the nines. Like you'll see her big Olaf one night, and she has like heels on this big, and
She and Gene Shafroff showed up at a party with the same dress on, and it was a slugfest.
oh, I would pay to see that
No,
one.
I'm
I would
teasing.
pay to
We
see
love
that
you,
one.
Gene. And
Halsey House has a gala benefit. The Beach Ball Saturday night with a very funny MC and auctioneer. Who might that be?
I wonder who that is.
maybe,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's 6 to 8 p.m.
Yeah, please join us.
What exactly is Halsey House? You got to tell us.
It's some kind of a benefit for the. I think
The
it's
the Halsey House?
I think it's the. They're. I have no idea.
Restoring.
They haven't sent me the script. No, it's the museum over there.
Okay,
The
museum.
museum.
Okay, cool.
It's a house.
Yeah.
It's on Halsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Halseys
I
came.
know
A lot of
that.
people don't know this. The Halseys settled here in the mid 1600s and decided to stay when they saw that most of the streets were already named
Yeah,
after them.
but I'll
so,
tell you.
thank
Oh, that was
That's like
good. Nice segue.
Well, you know, I bet like once again, when people rent houses out here in the summer,
Yeah.
every year we have drama where people they go out on Memorial Day weekend, they get a little tipsy, and then they tell their Uber driver or cab driver, "My house, it's right here. It's the one with the cedar shingles and the pool in the backyard."
you. Right. It's like camping in a cabin.
Yeah.
In
And
Atlanta.
then the other one is like we've had people like in real estate where they say, "I'm at 68 Halsey. and then they go to the wrong 68 Halsey.
Oh,
Yeah,
the other.
it's like Atlanta when you say, take me to Peachtree and.
Is there a zillion peach trees? I guess so. Or Bay, or Ocean, or what other names are like a million of?
In
Halsey.
just a moment, you two are going to do the real estate roundtable with our special guest. We're going to have the weekly
Speciale.
update on what's going on. But in the meantime, we talked extensively about this new movie, Jurassic Park. Let's take a look at a behind-the-scenes featurette telling us all about it. And a little later on in the show, we're going to actually tell you the times of the movies in case it's raining. But I don't think it's gonna.
No. But why don't we talk weather real
Yeah,
fast?
all right. Throw the weather
Let's
up really
let's
quick.
see what the
No
weather is
rain.
real quick.
We'll take you behind the scenes a little later
In a little
on.
bit, yeah, 'cause
But
I
right
need to know
now,
what the
let's-
weather is.
Yeah, you want to know what the weather is.
Ta-da! Where's our cold open thing? Are we gonna show the real estate thing? We just spoke about it. Hey, Zach.
Hey, we're live and we prove it every week.
There we go. Ah, there we
Nice.
go. Thanks, Zach. Da 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 da. There you go. So you want to talk real estate with me?
Here we are here. I always love to talk real estate.
Well, you know what they say in the, what was it? There's 9 million, or the Woody Allen joke. What was it, Bill? 9 million stories in the naked city. 899,000 of them are about real estate.
I think that might be
Something
so.
like-
never heard that.
Joining us from Ravis Home Mortgage, Sarah Alvarez. Okay, we have to ask what's going on with rates first of all before we do anything. What's going on?
Sure.
What's going on?
Well, thank you, first of all, for the opportunity to be back here, and happy 4th of July
Happy 4th
to
of July.
everyone at
Woo-hoo.
home. The rate market, it's actually been, we've had some good news recently where we've seen some relief and rates are coming down. Generally, the news on inflation has suggested that we are in a place where the Fed may be able to continue with their rate cutting cycle, which is really what everyone's waiting for.
Right.
But currently, we're seeing rates come down a little bit. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's been waiting for this. So
That's
hopefully
why we
it
had
continues.
fireworks going
Absolutely,
earlier.
literally,
Exactly.
everybody's celebrating.
So, speaking of financing, like what should someone do if they're planning on getting a mortgage right now?
Totally. I thought it would be a fun thing to talk about today. What are the first things to do and also not to do when you're about to apply?
Oh, I
for
have
a
one of
mortgage?
those. Don't switch jobs. If you're about to
That's
get a
not a
mortgage,
good
don't
idea.
switch
Okay,
jobs.
well, you're jumping, but we'll
Sorry,
go
but
right
go
to
ahead.
that. So the three things that you look at for underwriting for a mortgage, the first one is going to be your income. So in terms of jobs, of course, it is best if you just continue in your current employment. If you're going to change jobs in the process of a mortgage, it does not mean that you will not qualify, but if you don't talk to your mortgage broker or professional about it and try to hide it, it's typically going to become a problem. So be upfront and have that conversation. Also, if you're someone who's self-employed, make sure you have a really clear understanding of how the underwriter is going to look at your income. That's typically different than what your perception of the money you're making is. A lot of people have really great accountants who like to show as little income as possible for tax purposes,
Right.
which is good for taxes, not great for mortgages.
Ah, very interesting.
Number two in the don'ts, since we'll just kind of stick to that,
Keep
would
going,
be
keep going, Sarah,
in
go.
terms of your money, your assets. Don't start moving money around. You would be so surprised at how many people start transferring funds in preparation for a transaction. It's actually better to wait and have a coherent plan in place. Because every time a bank sees a transfer on a statement we receive, we have to document it, which just means extra paperwork and a little bit of frustration, which all could be avoided by just sort of sitting back and allowing us to put together the plan for how we're going to get all the money together.
So is the market picking up in your experience of like, what are you seeing now? That rates are like kind of tipping a little bit down?
Yeah, I mean,
Have things picked up for you?
we're definitely getting busier. For us, we're sort of the first line, so we're doing the pre-approvals as people get back into the market.
Right.
I think that with considering all of the uncertainty that there is in the market right now, it's definitely been busy. Typically this time of year, people sort of check out. We haven't necessarily experienced that as much, but I do hope that everybody will at least take some time off for the fireworks this weekend.
I'm curious to know, is there, in terms of inventory and, going into the summer, I would imagine normally this would be a high kind of market time, given the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty, everything else? Are people holding on a little longer?
I think Patrick could probably speak to the inventory
Yeah,
specifically.
I'm wondering about that.
Well, we have right now, we have what we call, we have about a year's worth of inventory. That basically means if they stop putting things on the market, at the current rate things are selling, it'll take a year for everything to sell off.
Right.
So in my assessment, it's definitely a buyer's market right now, and it's definitely a tenant's market and the rental market. It's, Sarah and I are part of a real estate group, and we have agents from different companies, like basically every company there. And everyone was saying basically the same thing, that the rental market this year has been very sluggish. Whether that's
that.
due to just uncertainty or the VRBO thing, I can't answer that, but there's a lot of homeowners there who haven't rented. And what's renting is the ones that are the bargains,
Right,
or ultra sleek, uber nice,
yes,
high-end rent. So,
yeah.
anyway, now do you rent your house?
Thank you. We do. We have a long-term rental situation, which we rather love. We go between the city and Sag Harbor. And where we live in Sag, it's very clear, based on the fact that you see a lot of signs for rent, never seen those before. So not being immersed in the market per se, but one sees and gets a sense of energetically what's going on. And essentially everything you've shared is kind of what intuitively I think everybody's feeling a little bit.
But what can homeowners do? Is there anything they can do to sort of prod buyers along and, say, like
Yeah.
buying down rates or anything
Absolutely,
like
I was
that?
gonna say,
Great
this
question.
is an active conversation
Yeah.
that we've had recently. How do you make your listing stand out?
Right.
One way is to offer a buy down. Buy downs are something that a bank can help you formulate, but as a seller, you can actually just calculate this on your own.
Right.
And essentially, you help to pay a portion of the buyer's or the purchaser's mortgage payment for the first 1, 2, or 3 years. So the delta is basically paid in a seller credit, so the buyer will enjoy lower monthly payments for those first years. And as we've seen rates starting to come down, the concept is that in a few years, they'll be able to do a refi into a great long-term mortgage they're very
Theoretically,
happy with.
Right.
So
Like
basically,
theories.
so
Yeah.
basically, they can buy, if the seller is willing to work with them, they can sell their house for 2.4 million, for example, and I think I did the math on this perhaps. And it'll basically be for 3 years like they purchased a 1.8 million house.
Well, exactly, and really what it is let's say that the market rate as of today, I'm just gonna use 7 as the example. So for the first year, they're gonna make if it's a 2-year buy down, they're gonna make payments as if it's a 5% rate for the first year. The second year would be 6%, and then it goes up to the 7. Once again, the theory being that you can do a refi into a better product by that time. But it helps to defray the cost, and it helps you stand out as a listing.
That is absolutely true. Any more questions? Because I'm kind of,
No,
I hate talking real estate.
And I mean, that's really interesting. I never heard of
You
that.
never heard of that before?
No, I'm not in it right now. When I'm in it, I'm paying attention and.
Do you have any friends who are real estate agents?
I do, but we don't generally talk real estate. I have a few friends who are real estate
What else
brokers.
do they talk?
What else did they talk about out here? Anyway, what do you think's gonna happen in the next few months? When do we see a rate cut from the Fed?
I mean, I still agree with the general industry, which is predicting for September, although there is some talk and hope for July, so we shall see.
July,
We
there you
shall
have
see.
it. Anyway, well, if you don't wanna buy a house, maybe you can go to the movies this weekend. How about that for a transition, Bill?
Wow.
Transition.
That's not
Yeah,
professional.
nice.
Well, on another note,
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
You guys come back over
All
here.
right.
Let's
Okay.
watch the
Yeah,
movies this
do
week.
it.
As we
Thanks,
said,
Eric.
the big movie
Heard
that's
of
opening
that.
is obviously
Fascinating.
Jurassic
Creative
Park,
finance
and that is
model.
playing at Regal in East Hampton. Is it there at the Sag Harbor as well?
No, but it is
bummer.
at the Southampton
Southampton
Playhouse, where it's probably in IMAX, but
would-
I'm having trouble reading that.
well,
And
they have
listen-
the only IMAX screen in the Hamptons, correct?
Yeah, correct.
I don't have my glasses,
Correct,
so I
yeah.
can't see that one.
So as we show you those, and we've talked extensively so far about the F1. By the way, go see F1. It's really good. Brad Pitt is a major movie star. He doesn't need George Clooney or Leonardo DiCaprio. He's nobody's sidekick. He
Or
owns,
zombies.
He owns the or zombies.
Did anybody say he was?
Well, I mean, he does a lot of ensemble
Sidekick.
kinds of
Yes, he
movies.
does.
He's,
True.
He's the Sundance
True.
Kid to a lot of different Butch Cassidys.
Yes.
But he is front and center, pedal to the metal, and F1. I'm gonna talk with our other guest who's a car guy. I'm not sure he's seen that yet. Yes, he has. In the meantime, we talked about obviously and hear all about Jurassic Park Rebirth.
How long is this?
It's why you come to see a Jurassic film. I think you want to be scared.
On the island we're headed to, 24 species have survived there alone.
Theme park owners did experimental work, leaving only the worst ones here.
Jurassic World Rebirth is about a special ops group that goes on a clandestine mission to recover blood samples from 3 different types of dinosaurs.
If we get this DNA, millions of lives are saved.
There's this sense of urgency about it.
Let's go.
The movie has a lot of very scary, very intense, kind of relentless moments.
It is a thriller. You are trapped on this island.
It just leads to this constant upping of the stakes.
Duncan!
Which I think makes for incredible cinematic experience.
Yes, get your tickets now. As we explained, it's playing out here this weekend. I saw it this morning at 11 o'clock. As you're watching this, that would have been on Wednesday, because that's when it opened. And I have to say, it's better than I thought it was going to be. It's very exciting. You asked during the break whether or not it's for small children.
I did.
I would say probably not,
Yeah.
because there is a little
Yeah, it's a lot of teeth
fight,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to make a lot of money. I think it'll probably be in the top 2 or 3 movies this summer, and it delivers. I saw that not all the critics love it. It's on Rotten Tomatoes. It's pulling like 58 or 59%. I think audiences are going to like it a lot more than that. In the meantime, what do you drive? What are your wheels out here?
So my wheels would be a Porsche Macan electric.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, and let me say, it is the most wonderful car I have ever driven in my life.
Really?
Partially because I never have to go to the gas station, which is a win for me.
Okay, fine. Well, let me introduce you to a Porsche-phile, a
Oh,
Mercedes-phile, an Oliphile. Elliot Cooker, thanks for joining us. Elliot is from Cooper's Classic Cars in the West Village. He is an actor, raconteur, and you saw F1, right? We were talking about F1 a moment ago.
I did see it, yes.
Recommend? Thumb up, thumb down?
I think it's rather extraordinary. The film industry, when they have a movie like this that shows you literally sitting in the driver's seat while they're racing, watching cars falling apart.
Right.
I mean, it really is magical. We take it for granted, but the action is extraordinary. Brad Pitt's good. Is it a great movie? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But my God, if you want action and you want to learn about Formula One, you got to go see this, and it's exciting.
And you'll go through a little
Gotta see
popcorn. You'll eat a little bit. It's a popcorn movie.
I
I
only
always go
have
for
popcorn
popcorn.
when I think I'm going to see a popcorn movie. And I had a big thing of popcorn.
All right, we've invited you this, thank you for that. You are a car guy, you are an actor, you have done everything. But one of the things you do is advise people on, you're kind of a car whisperer. In addition to selling them, you'll say, try this or that. He drives around the Hamptons in a perfectly unrestored 56 Mercedes Gullwing, the kind that with the doors that
Oh,
open.
yeah,
like-
with the-
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. We see you trotting around. That's been on display at
The Bridge.
the thing that happens in the fall,
Oh, know
which
that
is
well.
a tremendous event. But what is the quintessential beach car? We're gonna throw up a couple. Let's take double screens
Good
here
question.
and take a look at. You mentioned Porsche. I think well, there's the Porsche right there.
Classic.
So that's a 911 Targa, right?
That's a very rare one. It's a soft window 71.
Uh-huh.
The only one in the world, 71E.
Right.
The only one in
The only one in the world.
And that's an MG we're looking at there, the blue? Yeah.
That's an
And then we're back
MG.
to the 280 SE.
So, yeah,
So
so
this
you
I
see-
call the car from, okay, go back to the brown one a second. That's the car from the or that,
Yeah,
Bentley.
yeah, the
The
Mercedes.
convertible, the brown Mercedes convertible
Yeah.
is the car from The Hangover.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
in lots of
that's
famous
right.
movies.
Yeah.
So these are all good candidates for the consummate beach car in the Hamptons, if you have an unlimited budget.
Yeah.
What's your favorite amongst the ones we're looking
Well,
at?
you know, I think a good all-around car for the Hamptons is that Mercedes, the 280 SC convertible. You can put your family in it, there's a back
Why did
seat,
I
there's a
sell
front
mine?
seat. It runs well.
Buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
The car runs well, it's got all the power you need. It's elegant, it's pretty, it's nice.
Right.
You know, you look at it, and it immediately touches something in your heart, and you look at it and say, gee, I'd like to know that car better. So that's a terrific car.
Yeah.
If you want to drive something that you don't care about, I'll tell you what car I would recommend. A Chevy Blazer, 72 Chevy Blazer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have one
That
of those.
was unexpected.
Yeah. Well, I'm not crazy about Broncos. This is a much safer car. It's a bigger car. It handles better.
That's also called a K5? or it has a-
K5.
Yeah,
This is actually my third one. The first
They're
two.
huge. See, under Jurassic Park, they're the kind of cars that drive around in Jurassic Park when
Right.
they're going through it's like a large 4x4 and those cars were inexpensive for a long time. Are they expensive now?
Yeah. Well, when I started buying them, I just loved the car. I think I paid $15,000 for a restored car. I brought it out here. I went to visit a friend of mine for dinner. He wouldn't let me leave unless I sold him the car.
That's a
I
good
hate when
business
that
to be in,
happens.
I
True.
guess.
Then I went to a party. I bought another one. Identical stories. So now I have a blue one, and my son stole it for surfing.
Oh, it's a
Right.
surfing
It's a
mobile.
perfect, yeah. It has a hard top, but it can come off.
It can come on.
And like
So
a-
that's a
and a back
terrific.
seat, yeah.
But it's so you can drive it with one finger. Power steering, power
Why
brakes.
have the old Broncos gotten so popular
Oh.
and cost so much money?
And they've gone back to a more retro look.
Right, the new
Bronco,
ones
the
sort
new
of harken
ones.
back to
new
the old
Bronco.
look.
Yeah, they're
As
not
a matter-
bad.
As a matter of fact, we have a new Bronco. It's wonderful.
I
Oh,
like
really?
it.
You like that?
It's wonderful. You know, why do people like the old Bronco?
Well,
Yeah.
I think they like the old Bronco because
Some of
it's
those are $200,000 bucks.
classic. Yeah.
They're restoring them to a ridiculous level, and they're a $250,000 for a Bronco.
So it's all about one person who gets one and starts raving about it.
Right.
And the next person says,
Like
"Oh,
you
one
at
too."
these dinners, you show up, you start raving about it, and before the dessert is served, you've sold
It's
the
true.
car.
Before I came to the Hamptons, nobody drove a Chevy Blazer.
Right.
Now you see them all
Yeah.
around. Not like the Bronco.
OJ started it with the Bronco, I think.
So you're a car influencer in a way, you know?
Car influencer.
Meaning, do you know what an influencer on social
Oh,
media,
sure.
right? So you're kind of a car influencer.
Oh, really?
I feel like you are.
There's another title for you.
I
You've
really
got 'em-
do. I want to call you the influencer, the car, like, as opposed to the car
Wait a
whisperer.
minute. Let me sit.
You gonna write that down?
Yes,
Okay.
the car influencer.
But
Oh, now I'm an
okay,
influencer.
see if this car influences you, because I can't believe these are classics now. Let's throw up the Jeep Wagoneer from
Oh,
the mid '80s
Like
to
the Woody?
early '90s with the wood on the
Oh, yeah.
side.
Oh, that's a great
Those used to
car.
be $5,000, and
Heck
now
yeah.
they're like $70,000 or $80,000.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
you
expensive?
know that. What do
Oh,
you mean now?
they're like golden sought after,
Yeah.
these cars.
Are those good cars?
They're great cars, sure.
Yeah.
But look what people are drawn to. They're drawn to beauty. They're drawn to something that looks elegant, something beautiful.
Yeah.
And people want to drive around in something. It's like becoming part of your own painting
Yeah.
Right, okay, sure.
and driving it.
Yeah, I guess. And those, like I said, they're not great on gas, right? They're
That's
kind
for
of-
sure.
They're kind of gas
Yeah,
guzzlers.
they-
but-
Bulbous.
1.5 miles per gallon.
Can you, so, right, well, you're not going very far in the Hamptons, you just stay in one Hampton. Those are findable for 10 or 15 or 20 grand?
Sure, you can still find them,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
And you won't get hurt in that, that'll
No,
be.
no,
yeah.
they're really terrific cars.
I mean, those were the cars that we grew up in, that we
Yeah.
didn't wear seatbelts in. There was usually a lab or a golden retriever in the back, right?
Yeah,
It's one of those cars, like the Woody.
You have to make sure there's no rust if you buy one.
Oh,
all right, good.
okay,
They
good
have
to
a
know.
tendency to rust.
And finally, why are there so many Ferraris out here when we can't go more than 10 miles an hour on 27?
What a waste.
Yeah, it just seems crazy.
Because people think that the Ferrari is their art. They think when they show up in the car, you know, they put themselves into it, they have this
Right.
beautiful vehicle,
Right.
and they feel proud. It's as if they painted it themselves.
You sell Ferraris, but only the old ones, right? Only the vintage
Only the
old
old
ones?
ones, yeah,
The
yeah.
Dinos and the,
The
right.
Dino, yeah.
And are those still $1 million cars, or has that market pulled back a little?
No, I've sold a couple of Dinos for $1 million. Actually, one for $1 million, one for 800,000. But I have a superb Dino. I have the first 246 GT ever made.
See, this is what happens at the dinners. He
Wow.
starts talking about his cars, and now I'm gonna buy a 246 GT.
God.
What's that selling for?
I'm not selling it, it's in my collection.
Okay.
No,
We have to beg you now.
I don't sell that.
Look at him, he's
I don't sell
very
the Galway.
system, not so.
Right. I couldn't give, there's so many valet things out here. I couldn't give a $250,000 or $500,000 car to a
Right.
kid to park.
I
right?
never do that.
No?
You
No,
don't?
I'll park it myself. He says, okay.
Okay. We're learning. So the cars for the Hamptons are Jeeps and things that can go to the beach, and we don't care about getting too much sand inside.
correct.
And aren't incredibly expensive, but are, at least can hedge against, they're not gonna go down in value as long as they're in reasonable
that's
condition when
that's
you buy and
correct.
sell. Elliot Cooker, always a pleasure to have you. I know, by the way, a friend of yours is joining us next week. The Weigh-In Restaurant is gonna be our featured restaurant.
Great.
Thanks to you, but also thanks to Hungry for Hamptons, the folks that take all the pictures and get everyone excited about different eateries.
It's a great restaurant, it really
It
is.
was last year on Race
Top?
Lane. No, it was on Race Lane,
Oh, yeah.
and that's now Camp Ruby Rosa. Have you
Yep.
eaten there?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Okay, excellent. But also, now he's at East Hampton Point, which is where CC, I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah,
it's the same
CC.
space, but maybe he's next door. Anyway, Cedric, the chef there will join us next week with some lobster noodles. We're looking forward to that. In the
Yum.
meantime, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Anything to do with you, Bill, makes me happy.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't need that kind of pressure.
Am I a good car salesman or what?
I'd
Tell
say
me.
you're an excellent car salesman.
Where are you gonna watch the fireworks?
I'm not gonna watch him.
Oh, okay, but if you are and you're concerned about the weather, let's take a look at the weather for the weekend, right now. Welcome back. It is, as you see behind us, it's the holiday. It's 4th of July weekend. If you're watching this, everything that's happening. But here's a pal of yours, or someone you know, Molly Sims, who has taken over Spotlight Magazine, and there she is in a classic car, Elliot. She's got an old, is that a Newport? Probably Chrysler convertible. Looks like the mid-60s, and this is the red, white, and blue issue. So red, white, and Molly, they're saying. She's doing, I didn't even realize she spent much time out here.
She does. She's a California lady, married to someone who's a big player in the entertainment industry, and they come out here every summer. And I would say one of the many elements of this woman that kind of blows my mind is that she's created, like so many, I think ScarJo, one of them, a makeup line, and it's excellent.
Really?
Excellent. It's won many awards, and she's an entrepreneur. Another example of a model.
Do you want her to
who's,
send you,
know,
some of it? Is that why you're saying that?
I already bought it, but
Really?
if she'd send me some freebies, I'm
You seem more
not
like a
gonna say
Jean
no.
Naté Avon lady.
Ginate. Now you're talking. Again.
Once again, well, I was going to ask Elliot. I have a '76 Pinto. What's that worth?
No, just don't back it into anything. No.
Up to about 14.
$14 or $14.
Molly has something called YSE.
Correct.
Beauty, is that correct?
That
She's
is
also
correct.
a podcast host, entrepreneur, supermodel,
everything.
and actress. Yeah. Hey, something else kind of cool in Spotlight Magazine, besides Molly, is what Hamptons archetype are you? There's a bunch of questions here, but here's the best one for the 4th of July weekend. Your ideal July 4th involves, this is multiple choice, and I'll try it in both of you, hosting a curated clam bacon amagansett with a last-minute guest list. That's choice one.
Okay.
Fireworks viewed from La Bille Bouquet while your yacht is docked in Sag Harbor for the after party. A barefoot barbecue with friends in Montauk, no shoes, no stress. or popping in and out of 3 parties between Southampton and Bridgehampton before a sunset dip. Wow.
Woo!
Are you the clam bacon Amagansett at the last minute type?
I am more a last minute type. It involves, rather than clams, it would probably involve margaritas in his annex. But
Okay. We don't encourage the kids to have a margarita.
While the
and a
dog's on
sandwich.
While the
trazodone, you
dog's on
might as
Trazodone.
well knock down some Xanax. That's a fun July.
Sounds like a fun
I'm going to guess fireworks from Bill Bouquet for you.
I would say
With the yacht and
most certainly not.
Okay.
I
have a
would.
yacht?
I
I
do
don't know
not
you
have a
would.
yacht.
Oh, I've-
and let me say, I do not have a yacht, but I have a dock with no boat on it. So anybody who has a boat, we'll talk. But
You are almost my new best friend.
I'm a lot of people's best friend. But there's a little, I got to check you out. I got to see the boat. I got
there you
to. But I am somebody who I think you had me at Barefoot and
Oh,
Easy.
okay.
I would
Montauk.
say, yeah.
No shoes, no
I
stress,
prefer to
no
be
service.
in Sag Harbor, but okay.
That's like I think growing up, I went to the Jersey Shore. Montauk to me is the closest to the Jersey
Yeah.
Shore.
But
That's
the
probably-
reality...
People where not when you go to like places like Mavericks or Bagatelle, but like most of the restaurants out there are pretty
No, the
low. They're
vibes.
cash and mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if
Love
you're
that.
just
Flip-flops
flipping
and-
around wondering what you're watching, we don't know either, but it's called Weekend Live, The Hamptons Now. I'm Bill McCuddy along with Jen and Patrick. Jen is sitting in for us this week. She has been, your broadcast career is extensive.
I had the privilege of co-hosting a show on Business Talk Radio in Greenwich, Connecticut, where I lived for 26 years, where I raised my kids. And it was called A Fashionable Life. I had a co-host, JD Chase, and we had
Nothing
an
fashionable
hour.
about this show, except you.
I don't think that's so at all.
right.
But don't
Yeah, speak
blow
for
your
yourself.
cover.
No,
I'm just
Speak for
saying, like,
yourself.
you're
By the way,
stepping
you can
down
only
and we
see
appreciate
them
it.
from here
Yeah.
up. So we
Well,
won't go-
we did come in red, white, and blue.
We did. Did you notice?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how you could not notice. That's actually pretty cool. That was Mr. McCuddy's idea.
So anyway, you got some press out of this thing.
Got lots of press, and I would say the high point was on the red carpet post-Obama first inauguration at the Recording Artists Ball. I got to interview Cher, and that was just,
That
I
is-
wanted
wow.
I wanted to sing Half Breed a little or something.
I don't know. Is that still PC to say
Is she
that, Bree?
Is she tough?
Probably not at
Is
all.
she difficult?
The absolute antithesis.
Really? Because she
was
strikes me as doesn't suffer fool. Like you'd have to ask the right question or
She's-
something that
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, she's been in
we've
show
done her.
business.
We've done her. At
I've
junkets
never
and
done
stuff,
her
no?
at a junket.
Oh.
You might have, but
Mermaid
she's
stuff.
very from what I gather, she's very down to earth when you meet her.
extremely down to earth.
Well, she was
couldn't-
born in the wagon of a traveling show. So yeah.
Very
There
good.
you go.
Gypsies. No, so Bill said no singing.
Right. We
Um,
can't afford the rights.
Please, no.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was a high point. And I done a fair amount of television, and this is just such a treat to be here.
Who
with
was
you
your
guys.
favorite person you ever interviewed?
Favorite person I ever interviewed?
Other than Cher.
Yeah, that's a good question. Tom Ford.
Oh wow.
Oh.
He's a local. He's a
Tom
local.
Ford, and probably because
Was this when he was at Gucci, or is this when he would do
no,
Tom
this
Ford?
was post Gucci. This was when he was at Tom Ford. He's a wonderful interview. He said to my camera dude, he said,
Camera dude.
camera dude, he said,
That's the term.
that's not my good side. You got to go to. He went
He's
to the
a
other
good-looking
side.
guy. I'm surprised he said that. I think he'd be like.
Drop dead good looking.
He's made 2 cool movies, and I will say I went to an event at the Plaza Hotel.
Right, a single man.
And I was talking to him, and we were in a group like 4 or 5 people,
Right.
and he looked at me and he said, "You're a reporter?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Come with me." I thought he was kicking me out. We walked over to a quiet corner. He never took his eyes off me, and for the next 10 minutes, he answered everything I said, asked
That's
him
cool.
about this and that, Colin Firth and all the people working in the movie, and backstories and stuff, and he takes it very, very seriously.
He does.
Right.
And I was all his for that period of time. And
Right.
then I said, look, we should get back to the, okay, he said to me, are you done? Have we gotten everything you need? I said, yeah, great. And we went back. Anyway, one of those people, like another person out here is Julian Schnabel,
Oh,
who's a famous artist. I think Elliot actually has knows Julian, but has a piece of his. A couple of
Two, there's
pieces.
two.
No one
Two,
likes a
but he's
bragger.
counting.
Anyway, also doesn't make many motion pictures, but when he does,
Yeah.
Diving Bell and the Butterfly,
Yeah, Diving Bell and the
like,
Butterfly.
Oh.
some amazing movies.
that's a
Right.
great movie.
Bill, actually, since we asked Jen this, who was your favorite interview you ever did?
I get, I will
I can
say
tell you my favorite interview you ever did.
this was well, okay, hold on to that for a second.
No, no,
because
it's a
we
good
worked
story.
together
It's
for
a
long
good
time.
story.
Okay, but mine is typical of what a lot of people say, which is Tom Hanks. And the reason I will say that, Tom Hanks, like Sharon Stone, changes clothes through the day so that
During the junket,
so that
so that
everyone's interview doesn't look the same.
Right.
But Hanks tries to, no matter what you ask, he tries to tell you a different story. Not of the same story, but something else. He goes, ask me about the suit I wore in Road to Perdition. And then he's got a great story that he doesn't also tell everybody else.
Oh, that's cool.
So that when you take your little sound bites back to Cedar Rapids, or in our case, New York,
Right.
because those junkets have people from all over, everybody has a different story.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
gracious.
I never
he,
did a junket.
he
with
goes
him.
out of his way to do
It's
that.
so gracious.
Yeah, he's a gracious guy.
He is.
He seems
a
like a
gracious
gracious
guy.
guy. I will tell you
Tommy
my
Lee
favorite.
Jones, on the other hand, doesn't
Oh,
want to do it,
no.
doesn't want to be there,
No.
and is very difficult.
No.
Do you know what's funny? Tom Arnold
Yes.
is coming out here, and I'll never forget. You didn't do it. It was a movie he did with Rick Moranis. It was so bad. Rick Moranis didn't show up to the junket, and Tom Arnold said to me, he goes, "You sat through the whole movie?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Thank you."
Wow.
And but my favorite interview you ever did was Peter O'Toole. You know why?
Oh,
Do you remember why?
Those
Peter
eyes.
O'Toole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he came in and we were not sure he was entirely sober,
Oh.
and we were supposed to go live on the
This will all
air.
come out at the trial.
And no. We were supposed to go live on the air, and the publicist, I'm like, we can't put. It's like, just don't tell him. And we went downstairs
Right.
at Fox,
Right.
and filmed him in the downstairs
Right,
studio,
right. Not
pretending
live.
like we were live on the air while we were doing a live show
Yeah.
upstairs.
Right. You know what's funny?
And the
about-
minute the camera went on, Peter
was-
O'Toole
Yeah.
straightened up and was
I'll bet.
lucid and
Yeah.
like very
He
articulate.
was
and just-
functioning, whatever he was doing, he was up. But what's funny about that story is it sounds like it's right out of my favorite
It
year.
does.
Which is
one of the
where he was a
greatest
famous
movies.
guy being taken around
Exactly.
to interviews and stuff in preparation. The guy I will tell you
Love that
also
movie.
that lit it up for me was Paul Newman. Paul
that
Newman,
must
his
have been
last
fun.
movie, when I walked into the room, this is to take nothing away from his legacy, the lights were off.
Yeah.
And he was leaning over, and I thought, oh my God, is he okay? And when the lights came on, he was up, boom, 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 whatever you wanted to know. What are we looking at now? We're increasing revenue somehow.
Oh, good. Yay.
I think we ran out of.
Then we've
oh,
run
look,
out of
there's
fireworks.
Wayne. Let's. We don't rehearse this, and this is live, and we prove
This
it
is
every
Wayne.
week. That's if you duck. I think that's the lobster noodles, maybe. Let's
Ah.
get-
You don't want
Next
my head
week,
in that.
Chef Cedric joins us.
Can we get the
Delicious.
fireworks back? I like the fireworks.
They're
I
working
don't
on
look
it,
as
I'm sure.
well
Anyway,
with that behind me.
Maybe. Well,
Paul Newman, phenomenal, lit it up, was great.
what movie was it, Bill?
It was something. with
Nobody's
Linda-
not
Linda-
Nobody's Fool.
No,
That was-
Linda Ferrantino, where they were robbing a bank and he had to pretend to be catatonic, which
Paul
he carried
Newman's
over.
last film
Yeah,
you're
I think
speaking?
it was. I think it was one of his last, one of the ones that I did.
I remember Charlton Heston was like that too. He came in all hunched over, and then the minute the camera went on,
Yeah.
he straightened up and was like very vivacious.
Welcome back to
We got fireworks
reality.
again.
We have fireworks, and we want to tell you where fireworks are happening this weekend. This is Weekend Live the Hamptons now. If you're watching it, this is all happening this weekend. Sag Harbor Yacht Club is having them on Saturday night. The Devon Yacht Club doing the same thing. North Sea has their fire department and carnival,
And a carnival.
celebration. So there's a carnival every night until I think 11 o'clock, but also on the Saturday night of this weekend, out there on North Sea Road, fireworks as well. And Greenpoint Fire Department doing almost the same thing with some celebration. That's on the North Fork. Shelter Island is not until July 9th. And if you drive around and just see random fireworks, the Hamptons have a lot of private things going on.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff like that.
Listen,
Of course, it's the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Right?
we've been.
Hey.
If you just joined us, the big movie this weekend. We showed you the movie times. We'll probably do it again in a moment. But in the meantime, we talked about nice people to interview. This is a guy who comes out to the Hamptons International Film Festival. He makes his home, like Scarlett Johansson, also in the Amagansett area, and it is David Koepp. David Koepp has written, as we said earlier, some great films, including the original
screenplay.
screenplay
Yeah.
for the first Jurassic Park. He's back. The movie, well, let's let him tell you what the impetus is. David Koepp joins us in a minute. He's very shy, so we're going to get.
I would say Jurassic World Rebirth is the story of this group of people who form a team with varying motives who go off on a very perilous journey to recover DNA samples in order to synthesize a drug that's going to fundamentally change and improve human life. So it's their struggle to benefit humankind despite the awesome dangers that they're going to face.
Yeah, that's the setup. But I told you
Sounds
earlier that
interesting.
it's not in a giant amusement park with thousands of people who are going to get stomped. It's two small groups of people, one led by Scarlett Johansson and the other a family. And the movie
Okay.
does a really good job of, well, you have to see it. I don't want to give too much away, but the family is
How do
rescued.
kids always end up on Jurassic, like whatever?
There is a small child in it who befriends a tiny dinosaur, and it's in her backpack.
That's why.
Yeah, so there's some
That's why.
Spielbergian kind
It's
of
like
moments.
a cutesy piece to the
Yeah,
horror
coming
and
soon
terror.
to a toy store near you.
Right.
By the
exactly.
way, one of the previews, and do you know previews now, I timed them, are 29 minutes with commercials and
Yeah.
movies. But one of the previews is the 50th anniversary is this year of Jaws, and it's
Yeah.
coming back in IMAX and in some other kind of blown up format that
Some other blown up
they
format.
showed the trailer for it, and I saw the movie with a lot of people, and they were like, "Oh, that looks good."
I remember standing in line to see Jaws
Yeah.
because this is before you could buy tickets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we went to like a 7 o'clock show and it was sold out.
Right.
And then my parents and my grandmother went home to have dinner and left me in line. I was a young kid. I guess I was 10 years
Different
old.
times.
10 years old.
You were the
Standing in line.
placeholder.
I was the
Yeah.
placeholder in the
Yeah.
line.
That's funny.
But I remember literally my mom and my dad were terrified my grandmother was going to have a heart attack in the movie a couple times.
Oh, really?
They're like, my mom was, Mom, are you okay? Are you okay?
Really?
Well, I don't, just in case anyone hasn't seen Jaws, but
It ruined my life.
it ruined the
Really?
beach. It
Did you
ruined
wait
the
in
ocean
line?
for
Did
me.
you go? You were on a date. You went on a date to see Jaws. No.
No, I went on a date to see Saturday Night Fever, not
Oh,
Jaws.
okay. Yeah, right, you
Very
went.
explicit memories of that. But I would say
that date go?
Jaws, not well, Jaws really messed me up because as a beach baby, as we
It
all
ruined,
are,
it ruined the ocean for me.
I cannot go without some sense of either the music playing in my head
Right.
or I think I see a dorsal fin out there. It's
Right.
really back to Xanax again. Maybe the doggy trazodone? I don't know. Something. I go in and then I run out.
Apparently, John Williams went over to Steven Spielberg's house. Not when they were. I think
When they
up
were
in. I think when they were up in
Martha's
Martha's
Vineyard?
Vineyard.
Oh.
And he just played on some little Casio, dun 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 dun, and Spielberg was wildly underwhelmed. He goes,
my
"That's
God.
it." And Williams goes, "Yeah, it's going to be great. It's a dun 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 dun," and it speeds up a little, like dun 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 dun. And Spielberg said something like, "Well, I hope it speeds up. It can't just be dun dun." And then they go in and they do it and they put it under, and it was like, the rest is history.
I wonder how it would be to
Insane.
see the movie in a movie theater. I mean, I haven't seen the movie in a movie theater since 1970 something,
Well, I will say in my youth, I had the privilege of being at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider? Oh, yeah.
No, Roy Scheider.
Roy Scheider, sorry,
Rob
70s.
Schneider.
Rob
brain.
Schneider is the guy from
He's the guy-
Deuce Bigelow. Different movie altogether.
Totally different. Anyway,
Although he would have been good in Jaws.
Yeah,
No, yeah, no.
and people are the
Roy
first step
Scheider.
to- if
Roy
you were the
Scheider's
first-
a Sagaponic guy.
No,
That's
Sag,
right.
Sag Harbor actually.
Sag Harbor.
He was Sag Harbor and Sagaponic. But
He was always at King Cullen when we bought groceries at the same
in
time.
Candy Kitchen.
Yeah,
I used to.
He was the color, my memory of him at the Beverly Hills Hotel is he was the color of, when you think
He was
of,
always tan.
of George Hamilton,
was very
really?
with toothpicks between his, that was him.
He was very tan. He was very
So tan.
That Jaws became a franchise, and it didn't get better. 2 is pretty good, but then 3D and 4.
Do
and
they ever
one
get
of them
better?
One of them with Michael Caine is This Time It's Personal. Really? Like the
Jaws
that was
the Revenge.
that was the line.
Oh, I wanted
This
one more good shark movie out there. And I think the closest we got was, and I love that Rennie Harlan movie.
Oh yeah, like Jaws on Jolt Cola. What was that called? Deep Blue.
Sea. Deep
Yeah,
Blue Sea
Deep
or
Blue
something?
Sea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Big surprise involving Sam Jackson in that
Yeah.
movie.
And the Meg wasn't very good, but I want a good Jaws. I want another good Jaws
Meg
movie.
is like
I don't.
It's like
It's like Jurassic Shark.
yeah, it's like the size of a submarine.
Yeah, Jurassic Shark.
If you, by the way, there is some I'm not giving too much away. Some of these dinosaurs can swim. And
Oh.
there's some extensive underwater stuff in here that
Like,
also
did they do an
gets a
Esther
nod.
Williams number or something?
Synchronized
In the
dinosaur
very
swimming.
first scene,
Yeah.
somebody drives by a school bus from Creighton Middle School. So there's like
Oh,
a
very
nice.
fun. Oh,
I guess
nice.
there are lots of other
That's cute.
Easter eggs in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know because I wasn't paying that much attention. This is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now. We are thrilled that you joined us. If you're watching us, you're going to go see fireworks somewhere this weekend. You also may go see
What about tag sales, Bill? Do we have
Dan's
tag sales?
Taste. Well, I just wanted one more time to say something about Red, White, and Brews from 6 to 10:30. That's Saturday night, and it's the first of Dan's Taste Summer Series. But yeah, let's throw some tag sales up. If you're there, you go. There's one
On
in Sag
Whalers
Harbor on
Drive.
Whalers Drive.
Oh.
Vintage items.
Yes.
Housewares. Clay. I don't want someone's old sneakers, though.
That's a little weird.
Montclair.
Why would you advertise that?
Oh my God! What do you hear? I have a great Montclair story when we get out of this. Anyway, let's see the next one.
Yeah, that's in Sag Harbor at 29 Whalers, Southampton.
50 Post Crossing. Original art by America Martin. Meredith Pardue.
We see these for the first time,
Yeah,
folks, just
an
like you.
antique Louis.
Look, Oprah
Louis-
collects, and Elton John collects Jamali. I have no
Yeah.
idea what that is.
Oprah and Elton John.
Come on, Saturday from 8 to 12. No early birds. I love when they say that. Like
Does it say
people
that
show
or
up at
does
like
it say-
6 a.m. You know who
Anyway.
does? Joy Behar. Joy Behar and Joan Hamburg go to all
Oh, we should
those.
have. You know, we should have on my friend Vince, who does these yard sales out here, and he's like buddies with Joy. He always
Yeah.
brings Joy along with him.
You mean
look-
he organizes
Wait,
that
I
for
love
you?
this. Wait, go back to the watermill one again.
Okay.
This is Cash, Venmo, or Zelly. They've gotten so.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. The high-end and
Or
designer
Zelle.
decor.
Ooh.
Ferragamo, Gucci, and Hermes.
Oh, fabulous.
Polo, Dior, and many more. But I love that they've gotten hip, and now they take Cash, Venmo,
And
or
Venmo
Zelle.
And there's a lot of
Friday.
marketing here. There's just like they have a PR team who's
Yeah.
putting together those.
Well, we get, no secret, we get these off 27 East, and we
Oh.
look for the ones that are, that
Yeah.
have the most interesting stuff, and the team here puts that together. So
That's
thank
cool.
you for that. Very much so.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All right, well, that's just about all the time we have, but we have one last person to hear from. Yes, Scarlett Johansson from Amagansett was always wanting to be, as you pointed out earlier, in a Jurassic Park movie. Here's why. Take a listen.
I don't even know how to describe the scope of this film because it starts off in one place that is so different than where it ends up. It's like it starts out in this urban jungle, and then we're on the water for this period of time that becomes just a total, it's like Jaws had a baby with Jurassic or something like that. And the movie is just this giant spectacle. It really is it's as big as the dinosaurs that we're collecting dino samples from. It's just like, it's huge.
Yeah, lifelong ambition to be in one of those. And it's very funny. She said, because we were talking about Jaws, she said it's like Jaws and Jurassic had a baby. There is a lot of underwater sequencing in there. They have to get to this island on boats, and the boats may or may not be under attack by some of these animals.
Oh,
So
based on the trailers that they have on television advertising said movie, I would say that's probably going to happen.
yeah.
Anyway.
What happened to trailers that just teased, that didn't show the whole movie and didn't tell
They
you
don't
the whole
exist.
story?
They
Hey,
don't.
our whole story is just about up. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
All weekend long. Wherever you're going, be safe. Don't let the kids hold those firecrackers. And have a beautiful, lovely, family-oriented, I hope, either
4th of July.
Either fireworks at the Bill Bouquet, or clam bake in Amagansett, or barefoot in Montauk, or popping in and out of several.
If you go to Bill Bouquet, just say you're on Mr. McCuddy's tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll be, yeah. Use this coupon bonus, add 50%. Jen, thank you so much
A
for doing
pleasure,
this.
a
We
pleasure.
really
That was
loved
fun.
having you.
Pleasure.
High five
So
again.
good.
Next week, Cedric joins us from Weigh-In. That'll be our special guest. We're going to taste some of the delicious, I don't know, Pan-Asian? What do we call that?
It's Asian with a French influence, right?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Thanks for joining
Thank you.
us. From the red, white, and blue.
Bleh.
Peace.
Bleh.